We are live.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, we're live. All right. Welcome to our first official Snacks super produced production of our stream. We're going to be watching an IBS game. This is just a scrim. It's not actually a real game. However, it's featuring Ember Esports, our IBS team, who are an LBL economy, and this is their scrim against RRE Blissful Rage. And on their team, they have two snackers that used to play with us, and also another snacker who will eventually play with us. I did not know this until last week. Go ahead.
We can't be calling them snackers.
I can call them what I want. On top of that, I have heard that they are looking for revenge on the org. We love them. We love Kiwi. We love Styx. Styx's name has changed. I did not know they were playing this, so we're going to cast it because we want to see what's going on. Unfortunately, their experience with Snack was not a happy one, as they were on a team that was full of, shall we say, dramatic moments. And now they're back playing with a new team. And we're going to take a look at what this draft is going to look like. Are we ready for that?
PK, are we ready for that?
Draft hasn't started yet.
Okay, we don't have a draft.
Yeah.
All right, then. So let's go ahead. I'm going to review, then, these players that we're familiar with. In the jungle is Kiwi, who, when he played with us, was known for a speed wick, meaning just buy all the fast items on Warwick and just go. Not a jungle speed wick. I believe the speed wick was a support. Also on top of that,
what?
in the mid lane, there was also, I believe, every meme champion. Kiwi loves to play ASO before ASO was a champ. But at the same time, sometimes wildly effective. Kiwi also brought a lot of energy to Snack. And I believe when he left, it was because our team disbanded. Is that correct, PK?
Kiwi?
Yes.
I don't think we disbanded.
You did not disband. Well, somehow Kiwi left, and this was the old org, and there's the old time with Radiant Twilight. But I would like to think that our org has now leveled up and become organized and have gotten rid of all the coaches that brought us down. One thing we have learned here is that coaches should not be teenagers. No offense to teenagers. We love them.
And they shouldn't be Yasuo mains.
They should not be Yasuo mains. That is true. And unfortunately, the mid laner, King Ballistic here, and Styx, was, I believe, an ADC main, but then played mid with us and got into a little bit of something with one of the coaches, and the axe came down quickly, out of my control. Unfortunately, even though we love the player and the person, had to leave Snack. At the time, we're going through a lot of turnover, and this is technically 2 years ago, not 2 splits ago.
Damn.
We're talking about literally 2 years ago, when Snack as an organization started playing more competitive leagues. And now here we are on top of the game, champions. They won't even let us into LBL, but here we are, and this is our last standing team, Ember Esports. Coach Winnie is bringing a full 5-stack to our team. They're all comp newbies. Unfortunately, their top laner had to step away, and now we have one of the old snacks on there, Silent, who was actually on the comp team a long time ago as the jungler. So that's what we're looking at tonight. And also in the bot lane, the captain for Blissful Rage is Dio, who did a tryout with us a while ago and is now the ADC, and as of last night is now officially a gold player. So this is officially IBSG. So we should be having a pretty exciting matchup. Are you guys looking at the OPGGs? Do you guys have any insight into what we can expect from any of these players, guys?
That's a great question.
All right. Anybody? Should I just keep talking?
Okay, well, so, I mean, we know about Ember. We've been watching a lot of their games, and we know this sort of few things and notes that we had for them to work on. Number one thing is their team fighting. They're good at fighting, but sometimes there's a little too many fights, and they're good at rotating for objectives and all that. So it'd be interesting to see if they've improved their sort of thoughts behind their team fighting, hopefully forcing less. Focusing more on CS and sort of, I guess, the quote unquote more boring aspects of the game. But those boring aspects of the game tend to be the ones that have some of the largest impact on the game. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see their progression in that sense, especially in SCRIM.
Fantastic. Anybody else?
So currently looking at the support here, DJ Akami. I feel like there's gonna be a decent amount of hard engages that should come out. I'm thinking they would probably excel in it. I can tell that they have a good Recon, a good Nautilus in play too, and even I see a Thresh. So if we see one of those hook or engage champions, it might be, if you get hooked, you're dead kind of situation is what I'm thinking they should go for a team comp for
Yeah,
Ember Esports. They should look for a nice little wombo combo. Just try do that, or even like kind of a hybrid pick comp situation.
yeah. So like they tend to play a team fighting style, but they don't always pick team fighting champions and team fighting comps. And some of the champions that they do end up picking end up struggling because they're not the best for IBS. So, for example, Orianna is a great champion, but she hasn't shown off entirely in IBS because you really have to know how to CS to get gold. Same with Syndra. You have to know how to CS to get your gold. You can't just rely on getting fed every time. So it'd be interesting to see gold progression in that sense. Or if they do just pick champions like Tristan, and right, just go full dive with Misfortune.
All right. One thing I neglected to do was go ahead and talk about these player names. I think we should name the players because we have watched Ember quite a lot, but even to the new fans and to snackers alike, we don't know exactly who is who and where is going where. So I'm going to start with the top lane, SNC Trash Can. Currently bronze, the heart of a gold player, the hands of an iron, as he says, but I think he's much better than that. We know him as Silent. And then we have Big Honky in the jungle. Somewhat new to the jungle, but over the past couple weeks has really improved. Also a bronze player, and what we're looking for is for jungle to make a big impact in this game, and slowly I think that's been happening. And then we come to the star of their team, Kurtster in the mid lane. Currently Silver 1. Kurtster has to carry this team on his back. He has to do a lot of work all across the map. As their best player, it's clear on the OPGGs that he's the best player, so he gets a lot of attention. And hopefully, we're going to figure out how to get him onto the field and start dominating. And in the bot lane, we have the duo of Junk for Hire and DJ Okami. Now, the two of them have been playing together a lot. I see them training all the time in our servers. They specialize in a little bit of Senna. They specialize in, I believe last week we saw Senna fasting, but it was not fasting, which I did not get to follow up and ask them about. But that is our bot lane, Junk for Hire and DJ Okami. And just quickly, let's go through the opponents. We're going to start with their top lane, which I believe is going to be Coinflip. Anybody named Coinflip has to be the top laner, a bronze 3 player. The jungle, as we said, Step Kiwi, or in this case, known as Not in My Asshole. I hate that I had to say that. And also in mid, we have King Ballistic, otherwise known as Prince Styx. And as he said today, he hopes to kill our mid laner many times. That's not revenge. That's just what he wants to do. Prince, excellent player. This mid lane matchup is what I'm going to be personally looking at because it's going to be one of their best players against one of our best players.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish the roster real quick. And in the bot lane, we have our favorite ADC, Dio. Hit gold 4 yesterday, like I said. And they will be playing with their support, Dylan Bia, who I know nothing about. However, I'm looking at this OPGG and I'm just seeing a lot of, looks like, Senna, a little Pantheon. I'm not really sure, a little Swain. So it doesn't look like a lot of Engage, but we're going to take a look at the draft and analyze that. I just want to repeat people's names so we're aware of who they are. Sorry, you were saying, Furry?
Yeah, so like if we really do want to play for mid lane, I think Honky is a good Nunu. I think you pick a champion like Nunu, Zac, Jarvan, and Zhao. Cheese gank mid level 3, and then every 2 ganks you gank mid again. So it'd be like gank top, 2 camps, gank mid, 2 camps, gank mid, 2 camps, gank bot sort of thing. Where you just spam over and over. You lose a lot of CS that way, but you're allowing your laners to get ahead. And if your laners get ahead, suddenly you don't have to gank in the mid game nearly as much. You can focus on objectives and then do farming. You don't have to force lanes as much. So I think that's what they're going to benefit the most from, because it also ends up giving them more space for their team fighting.
Oh, I'm getting a special report. They've started draft. Should we swap over to the draft?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. And I
have
believe
draft link?
we do have
It's-
the draft.
It's in. Yeah.
I see.
Okay. Take it away, Furry.
Okay, well, we're blue side. Volley, Seraphine, Ashe. We have a lot of AP, a lot of CC. Into Maokai Misfortune. Like, it seems pretty much every single IBS game we've seen has had Ashe and Misfortune pretty much 100% pick ban. Now, Zac, right now, Blissful Rage is doing a very just like classic IBS. Pick a bunch of AoE engage champs and then force fight every single objective, whether it's smart or not. And if you win, you win. You lose, you lose. Right now, we're also playing teamfight oriented. Our lanes are pretty strong, but we're lacking some of that late game damage. We're very mid gamey currently, but we need some help in the early and late game. So, ideally, mid lane you pick someone late game. Jungle you pick someone early game. So that could be like Orianna and Jarvan, something like that, to sort of get you there. But
one thing I see from SNC Ember is that they're looking to 5v5. They want that 5v5. Looking over on the Blissful Rage, they want to try pick you. They want to try get you out, catch you out, and or dive you.
I sort of disagree. I think Blissful Rage is also just going to try to force team fights over and over because they have the Gnar Maokai Misfortune. They really want to take the 5v5s. Their individual lanes are currently much weaker than Ember's because Volley's a beast in the side lane, Ashe is a beast in the side. Well, kind of. But we also just picked Malphite, so that's really locking it in.
Malphite.
But also, like,
pick.
Blissful Rage did the correct thing with Gnar, where you blind pick it when you're red side. That's very much a red side thing. Don't do that blue. Well, you can do that blue side. But yeah, this last pick. Oh,
The
okay.
scaling Aurelian Soul. So they're gonna.
Aurelian Soul says Volley jungle. I've pretty much been seeing volleys only go top recently. I haven't seen people send the volley jungle as often, so I don't know as well on how it is currently.
And as well, the Silas has so much good ult opportunities to take from SNC Ember.
Yeah.
Game-changing ult.
So going into this game, Ember does have a really easy and good comp. I think Rage is a little bit ahead at this point, but these team fights are going to be very flippy. We have a lot of burst damage, but we don't have a lot of damage in comparison to Blissful Rage. And that just happens to be how our champions work. Now, if the real game is going to be peeling for Ashe, right? This Zac and Silas are going to be pretty much doing nothing but trying to get onto Ashe. So getting her fed, getting Aurelion Soul fed is really the name of the game. But that of course means leaving Malphite on his lonesome. Which is fine. Like, Malphite and Gnar, neither of them should kill each other. Well, they shouldn't be fighting each other in the first place, right? But they shouldn't definitely not be killing each other. Also, so it's pretty hard for Malphite to die to ganks because he can just ult out. The tricky thing about Volibear is he's going to have a very difficult time ganking any of these lanes unless if the lane gets ahead naturally. Reason is Gnar can just jump away. Maokai can just push volley away. So we have to be ready to dive, and we don't necessarily have the best champs currently to follow up a dive until like level 9 or later levels, sort of further into the mid game. Once we start to get first items, or at least close to them. Otherwise, yeah, we definitely want to scale. We shouldn't be forcing like first Drake or really any objectives. That seems dangerous. We definitely want to play the farming game. Farm. But knowing Ember, we'll see if that happens.
All right. And is draft over right now?
We have finished draft.
We have finished draft. Great. I can read that. So I just want to say for halftime, we have two exciting things coming up. As you know, the inventor of IBS Bingo is right here with us, Furry. He just did the draft analysis. So we're going to be playing a little IBS Bingo. If you are not in the game, you can play along with us. I'll send the link. If you are in the game, Kiwi, you probably should not watch the IBS Bingo so you don't do things that... There we go. Don't look at this, guys. The goal of this bingo is we're going to go for a full 3-set. You want to go 7 across. We have actually accomplished bingo once in I believe, best of 3. But normally we're cheering for specific things. IBS bingo is here for fun. We're not here to blame anyone. But guys, this is IBS.
You should flash into the wall.
You should flash into the wall. You should definitely do
Press
bad
key to
dives.
dance.
Do it for the viewers. Do it for us. IBS bingo. So we'll be tracking that at halftime. Along with that, we're going to have a very special thing. Last time we ranked tier list S through D, snack members' pets. And although that was very fun, a little bit controversial because we don't want to rank people's belongings or objects or pets apparently. So today we're going to be ranking League of Legends cinematics. So stay tuned for halftime for that. All right. Should we go ahead and throw it to a specific champ analysis?
Take it away.
I thought this was you, Furry, who was doing this.
I got
Oh,
my
this is
control.
Neb. All right. Nebulous
All right,
with the champ
so-
analysis.
Looking at the champ analysis here, Malphite has tons of ability to affect team fights. He needs to look for a flank. TP ward would be perfect for him, especially if they're setting up a Baron situation, a drag situation. They got to look for that flank ward. They got to unlock that Malphite into the team fights. And most of the time, I want to see if Kurtzer can get to the point of scaling as hard as I know Aurelion Souls do. I think on both ends here for SNC Ember and Blissful Rage, they both have really active junglers. So they need to show their presence in the game. They need to look for those ganks, fish for those ganks, but they can't be over forceful. If they're over forceful, it's not going to work out probably 9 times out of 10. I like the Ashe Seraphine pick from that bot lane. The Ashe combined with Seraphine's E insta roots. So if they're looking to fight, Seraphine doesn't even need to have her double up encore. And looking at Maokai and Misfortune, that's a wombo combo right there. So if Maokai can find that situation where he can release that ult down on a good team fight, I think if MF can clean up that, it will be an insane kind of pick for them. And overall, I think in the bot lane, either one, it's who ults first and who has the best ult.
All right, I'm
Then-
gonna jump in here. How much time do we have?
Got about 30 seconds here.
30 seconds. All right. So what we want to do is highlight one of the champions because we know that when we're looking at this stuff, sometimes we don't know the names of people's abilities. So on a real quick, I'm going to pick a champion, let's say Silas, and we're going to just read his abilities because oftentimes we just say Q, W, E, R. Sometimes we don't say anything. For his passive, Petrosite Burst. His Q, Chain Lash. W, Kingslayer. E, Abscond, Abduct. I don't know why there's two. R is Hijack. All right. And normally Furry would be here to tell us why Silas is picked in a comp. I don't know about that because I am a bad player. However, I believe you picked Silas to intimidate the other team. So we're going to be pretty sure that this Silas matchup is going to be really exciting. I'm assuming he's going mid against this ASOL. And as we said before, that's exactly the matchup we're going to focus on to look at this first game. All right. Are we in game?
We are. I also came here to inform you that it's called abscond abduct because there's the E dash and then the E chains. There's the two halves of it.
Thank you for that technicality. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You know, you seem confused. Also, he's like really good into Malphite. If they don't lane swap, they're making some interesting choices. They want the Silas into the Malf and the Gnar into the Aurelian Soul here.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was a quick preview by Amanda, Coach Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. All right, Ned, let's take it away.
Looks like we're just starting off with a regular 5-point situation. Got some wards going down to the river, which I think are pretty unnecessary if you're 5-pointing here. But I understand the jungler going back, recalling for that sweeper, add a little bit of safety vision.
Now, Ned, when you say unnecessary, why might that be the case? Don't you think warding is the best thing to do in this game?
As a support, I do have that bias to warding is necessary, but you got to have good wards, not just placing your wards. You may have a high vision score, but how is your vision score affecting your guys' game? You guys are going to 5-point anyways, so there's no point in looking to place that middle ward right there. And if they were going to place it higher. Place it higher into the river so it can see that transition lane. And it looks like quick engage happening in the bot lane for a quick trade onto Ashe. There's like a pretty standard things happening here. Quick little trades happening into the bot lane here. And top lane looks like Gnar's taking advantage of the Malphite right now. And it looks like a huge root comes down from the Seraphine. Little trade happening in the bot lane still. And looks like the sun comes down for Gnar. And it looks like it's going to be an all-in going for the coin flip here. I feel like Gnar could have pushed that a little bit harder. Looks like Silas. It's that E. Chains don't connect on there. Looks like Kurtzer is kind of soaking up some damage here. As an ASOL, you gotta get that scaling going before you get a lot of damage. Looks like the farm's pretty even across the board here, except in that top lane. Looks like Gnar is kind of pushing onto Silent here, pushing him off waves, and it's pretty good for him to be doing that. We still have not seen any junglers in the game, in any lanes yet. It looks like it's just a full clear for both sides. We might see Volibear coming in. Nar's getting a little bit too anxious here, but that Narbar is starting to go up. Looks like Voli might be chased off due to that Narbar. And Maokai engages onto Ash. And a flash is blown. Nothing else happens to that. But they've got that Zac sitting in that pixel brush. But since they're pushed in so far, Zac can't do much, unfortunately. PK, any insight happening onto the game so far?
I'd love to hear PK's Jungle Corner, a special segment sponsored by Pirelli's.
Oh wait, hold up. We have Seraphine going, and it looks like MF might die to that Ignite. Looks like Ash gets first blood here, and they can continue this fight here. If Seraphine can land that E, and they can keep going, but Malphite goes on to the Seraphine. Ash needs to keep pushing that. And it looks like a trade happens in that bot lane with support. And Ash gets 2 kills coming here.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 kills on the Ash. It's already a pretty huge lead. I mean, Maokai having a kill is pretty negligible, especially because he's rushing Trailblazer. His quote-unquote Trailblazer item spike is kind of like a fake spike. I mean, it's useful, yes, for roaming, but I don't think this Maokai's roams on this Soul are going to be
Little
very
quick trade
meaningful.
happening here in the top lane. Silent can push this.
Now he is fighting in wave.
That is a problem. And is he going to agree to get near him more? He has taken a whole bunch of wave damage.
Yeah, so we're also seeing this Malphite knowing Silent he's going to be rushing Frozen Heart. This is actually a fine game for that, but like still probably want Sunfire, or at least the Bombies before you're stacking your cloth armors. But it should be fine.
Looks like Gnar came back with that TP, and it looks like he's going to capitalize on Silent Bear here.
Yeah, Silent kind of greeted. He couldn't push his wave very hard because he didn't have a lot of mana. But he does have TP. He isn't really going to lose anything. Should be fine.
Looks like first strike goes over to Ember here.
Which, it's a surprise that they have the priority to do that. Like,
their bot lane was pushed in like crazy.
Well, yeah, like
crazy?
both MF and Maokai were pushing the wave, but Zac hasn't really made any play. Like, he's a Zac. You should be spam ganking non-stop.
Looks like the flash goes into A-Soul here. King Ballistic looking to all in onto Kurtster.
Yeah, it doesn't really turn out into a kill. That's pretty bad for Silas. If he isn't able to get a good early kill onto A-Soul, and they just sort of let him scale, that's going to end up being really rough.
Got that bot lane pushed in here. He is warded out though.
Looks like Gnar is going to rotate for these grubs after shoving this wave.
It looks like Gnar's actually going to go for a trade here. Malphite is going, and the Narbar comes out and stun.
Yeah, Gnar just doesn't do damage. Like, I mean, Maokai is spending all of his mana, which is, I think, an argument for Corrupting Pot, but even still, he's not going to be able to kill him, especially since Malphite's stacking armor so early.
Yeah, Malphite's already got that Warden's Mail coming out here. Like you said, he's got that Frozen Heart.
I mean, I don't think there is an ounce in any of our souls that he wouldn't rush Frozen Heart. It's what he builds every single game, including AP champs, but we love it.
Looks like we haven't seen the Zac as much as I'd like to see here.
Like, he's just done nothing. He's been farming. He's had no
Looks like
map
that Gnar bar is ticking up here. Is he gonna capitalize on it?
I think Malphite didn't have the mana. If he had a little more mana, he just one taps Gnar there, but I don't think he could ult.
Oh, looks like Gnar is going in here.
He definitely should have mana for ults. I think he's just sort of stalling.
But his
He
Holy Bear is
just
gonna
go
start
in,
coming.
yeah.
He is stalling here, and it might be a solo bolo going to Malphite.
Just flash.
The Q needs to land here.
No, he
And
walked
the Seraphine
away.
ult comes out and
Oh, that was a
interrupts
very
the
good
ult
Ashe.
coming
You
out.
need to-
Beautiful
Ashe needs
Ashe
to go.
ult. And looks like this might be a tragedy, but it looks like to be a trade at least. That Ashe is trading back, but looks like... Are we gonna see Zach hop in here? Zach might be hopping in. But it looks like the kiting is just... looks insane. The flash
Whoa.
ends up having to get burnt from Zach to
seems
secure
like
that
a
kill.
Some pretty bad decisions were made there. Zach just needed to wait like 4 more seconds to E. It's not like Ashe has another form of mobility.
Looks like Volibear has the flank onto Silas. He gets that stun down, and it looks like the ult is taken, and he looks like he turns it.
Yeah, that's an alternator gap right there. Just popping Volibear. Especially because Volibear is sitting on a bunch of boots and lawn swords. So he can't really do anything. And I don't fully know what Volley is trying to build here.
It looks like Seraphine might be going too far into that jungle.
Oh.
And having that free pink ward there for the support to clear out, if you can, place that a little bit deeper near their tower. So it's a little bit more hidden.
Volley's going Sundered Sky this game, which apparently is standard for the Volley jungle. I mean, they do
Silent
need
Bear is
AD.
trading into that wave.
Yeah, he's just sort of letting himself get autoed by this Gnar. Also, a Grasp Gnar to note. Usually Gnars go fleet.
Looks like we have 4v4 going to be happening. Zach is looking for that flank on the backside here. Looks like Zach puts the ult down, but it doesn't look like much is capitalized. It looks like their Volibear is kind of tunneling, leaving the rest of their team out. And it looks like the Ashe ult comes down to kill the Volibear, and huge ult coming out of Maokai. And it looks like the retake from there
This was sort of what I was suggesting, that like both teams really want a team fight, but the enemy team's team fight is much stronger early game. So we really have to pay them respects in that regard, and I don't think we gave them enough respect there. Hopefully that was a bit of a wake-up call, that they can't be continuing to fight like that, that they need to wait to scale. Otherwise, they're just going to be giving more for the Silas to scale off of.
And one thing I really liked was how Zach had that knowledge to quickly get onto that back flank. I think that changed it a little bit for that team fight there, because they were so clumped. That's prime Zach ult opportunity.
Yeah, so they also have a habit of sort of standing together for whatever is the worst thing that can hit them. So it's either like standing in a straight line for Seraphine, standing in a big clump for a Malphite ult, that sort of thing.
Looking
They
at
need
this
to just
situation,
give
we
each
might
other
have a
more
Narc
space.
catching people out, but it looks like they are 1v4. They're 3v4. Looks like the Silas gets out of that. They could capitalize on this. The Seraphine might be getting it, and the shutdown going to the Seraphine. And the Grubs are going to come over onto one side, unless we got a retake coming here. I don't like here having 4 people taking Grubs. That's my main gripe about this situation. I do not like that. Ashe should be defending that bot lane.
Yeah, I think 4 is fine. It just has to be Malphite instead of Ashe. Or if she's
Yes.
doing that, Malphite needs to be bot
Looks like
lane.
the Zach
That's-
passive goes down. But it looks like they might retake him. This Seraphine Charm comes out, the stun goes on to Maokai. And it looks like the Maokai is going to go down. Another shutdown going to the Seraphine. And it looks like Gnar gets out. Or does he? He gets the root. And it looks like they're just gonna have to trade. We look at the flank here coming from there. From the Silas. Might capitalize on that Seraphine here if his E comes back up.
Yeah, Yeah, can we see the gold graphs? Okay, so we're seeing a pretty substantial lead top lane, mid lane already. I think this Silas being ahead is predictable, but and because it's predictable, it's not the end of the world. I think they just have to be focusing a little more on Ace, and it's definitely tough because you have a Volibear, right? Volibear tends to be a little greedier. Oh, nice dodge
Big,
with the
big trading happening. And it looks like Storm Surge first from the Silas.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like
surprise
that
me.
rush Storm Surge. I don't know how
I mean,
much I like
so
it.
you are a fed AP laner in this scenario.
Looks like Malphite gets that gank off too. Maokai is running with his tail and he flashes back in, but he's tanking that turret. MF has that ult there. She could have ulted.
Yeah, definitely. And so, like, the thought behind building Storm Surge first on Silas is because he's already at the point where he can one-shot people with Zac. The only reason to delay Storm Surge is if you don't have the raw AP to do it, to trigger it. But he currently is ahead enough, especially with his second alternator, that he should be able to pop in time.
Hey. Looks like Coin Flip is just taking advantage of Silent Bear's lower mana. And the Rift Shelly is going to probably get taken here from RRE. The trading is good happening in the top lane. Coin Flip is playing this matchup pretty darn solid.
Yeah,
But he's taking that wave again.
Malphite's in a really rough spot here because he really needs a bailout from someone, but Drake's coming up. So everyone's rotating for Drake. He should be at Drake, but he can't. So
They should look to engage here. Nature's Grasp goes down. Looks like he'll hit one person.
Yeah.
The ult comes down. And this
Volley's a little deep right now. I don't think
volley
he
is
gets
deep.
what he wants out of this.
the Zac misses though. The one thing I want to touch on is that Seraphine ult made it all the way back to MF. That was an amazing Seraphine ult. The Narbar is coming up here. And he misses. And the rocket ship.
Just doesn't have the mana.
And this Gnar is absolutely punishing Malphite.
I'm a big advocate for rushing AP items first on tanks and then building into tank items. But specifically on AP tanks. So on a
feel
champion like Malphite, you go Malignance, or at least have
Looks
the
like the flash
last
after
chapter.
here. Silent Bear looks like he is going to go down. The Malphite goes down, and that's a solo bolo going to Gnar.
Yeah, because there's multiple instances where Malphite could have won
But it
and
looks
killed
like
if he just had the
Seraphine
mana.
is going to flash out. But this might be a problem. Good dodge coming out. I don't know how much I like having the Seraphine in this situation. Coin Flip gets another solo bolo.
I'm not sure why she was there. Like, you have Drake up, your team's rotating to fight for Drake, yet the support's top lane.
The
After your
Seraphine
top
has
laner
that
gets solo.
game-changing ult too. Absolutely
Yeah,
game-changing. If that
Seraphine
charm comes
needs-
out.
She needs to be sitting next to MF, or sorry, Ashe the entire time. I think any time spent elsewhere is a waste. And, like, especially because Gnar's really fed right now. That's scary. I'd be shocked if they started losing any team fights at this point.
It's a very wild star reminiscent top lane happening right now.
Yeah, except it's a Gnar, so it's not very scary, but...
Oh my gosh! And the Silas absolutely trades on there, hijacked the Malphite ult, and absolutely demolished their health.
Yep, there's a reason why
And it looks
Silas...
like the flank coming around here. If the Malphite can get up here, he needs to peel first. And beautiful arrow coming out. It looks like they're going to capitalize on there. Nature's Grasp gets down from the Malphite. Seraphine's left out. And the Storm Surge procs over. And it looks like Seraphine's probably going to go down here as well. This mid lane has been having a game and a half. The mid top here.
Them. We're not respecting them at all. And we're playing really greedy.
Looks like the ult comes down here.
I don't
That
think
Narbar is starting to fill up.
Yeah. Yeah, so we need to just be playing safer, playing to farm. Yes, Ashe has kills, but she's down 40 CS. Top lane, we're down over 50 CS, right? These numbers are nothing to scoff at. Yes, a portion of that's micro diff. You know, just missing CS, cough, cough, Malphite, missing cannon there. But also, like, just being in the right place at the right time. Like, there's so many fights we never needed to start in the first place or be a part of.
I feel the exact same way as you with the fights. Why are we fighting when there's no objective? Why are we overextending when we have no vision? I feel like it's a pretty solid knowledge diff happening right now.
Well, this was what I was saying their issue was coming into this, and what I was saying I hope that they worked on the most is taking unnecessary fights. And when they, because like IBS teams, the number one thing we see is getting sort of lost in the mid game. So I think just having a single idea or anything going further, like what are we trying to do? Oh, we want this Drake. What do we do before the Drake? We just perma farm. We don't take any fights. We don't look for picks. All we do is farm.
Like, yeah, if they're starting to go into like that decision of we got to get this Drake, we have to farm until I would say a minute and start entering that enemy jungle in a team so our Seraphine can start to ward out and be able to grant them that much needed vision. And it looks like Zach is sitting on Blue's Krugs, and it looks like he has Gnar behind him. This might be a problem. This might be a pick off here, but looks to be a huge ult coming down from
Wombo combo.
MF. A little bit of a wombo combo. Like I said in draft, there's that little wrinkle wombo combo that they can do.
We need to. Okay, so Volley Bear is great in 1-3-1 comps. The issue is we are playing like a team fight team, even though we're behind. So just need to chill, I think is what it comes down to. Because if nothing's happening, that means they're not necessarily growing their lead, and that's a good thing, right? We're not at the point where we're currently at the point where we just need to 50-50 something and hope we perchance win.
Looks like there might be a solo bolo under bottom tier 3.
Yeah, I mean, getting a kill on Gnar here would be pretty big. Especially if that gold goes to Asol. But yeah, we're stuck.
I feel like at this point right now, Seraphine warding and clearing is going to be one of the major things that they need to do to try and get back into this game. There needs to be shallow wards happening so that they can actually unlock their Volibear to actually go into his jungle without getting bush camped.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean that's 3 Drakes, and it's Cloud Drakes too. Usually Cloud Drake kind of sucks, but I think it's actually fine for them here, right? Especially with like Silas. And we're
Looks
taking
like
another.
an unnecessary fight. We don't need to do that. But Malphite might be caught out here. The ult comes out from Malphite. It looks like the Baron's going to be started.
Point blank chains missed. That feels bad. I think Silas players, the issue they run into is they spam E too fast. So it ends up coming out at a time
This
where
Gnar is just running down Aurelion Soul's throat here. And it looks like a good flash coming out here and a good ult to try stall. But the Seraphine starts that stun, but I don't think that that was needed for that. A simple double up peel would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were already dead by that point. I think you just cut your losses and watch it happen. I mean, but that's kind of like the game right now. It's sort of a slow burn. I'd be surprised if they didn't end here. They have the volley barrel, and he does manage to hit both towers, even though it looks like it only grabbed the left one.
Quick thinking on the side of Silas here. I don't think that there's much to come back from here.
No, yeah, Silas just got 2-fed, and that him being fed allowed MF to get fed. And a fed MF is, well, a fed any ADC is rough. So, next game. What we need to do is to stop forcing fights, period. If you don't know what to do, the first instinct shouldn't be, let's team fight. Let's try to get a fight, let's try to get pick. No. First instinct should be, let's farm. How can we push waves? How can we get pressure for turrets? Playing slower for more macro-based thinking, rather than trying to outskill them in a team fight. Because, yes, that can work, but it hasn't been working. So maybe it's time for something new.
All right, great game one. We're gonna have a little bit of a break, and it looks like we're gonna update our bingo. Could we look at our bingo list real fast? Tell me when that's showing.
We're showing.
Fantastic. Now, we did have Nummy Nums out here trying to mess up our bingo, apparently. What's happening? I'm not sure. What are we looking at here? We need... Looks like we want this left diagonal, 250 plus CS. No deaths on a single player. No 5-point and a Baron steal would get a bingo. Alternately, we could also go straight down G. Below 100 CS at 20. Gets first blood. Jungle camps after Baron. No Elder and one shot. This is a pretty good first game. We do have some hopes, right? Don't you guys think?
Hope, dreams,
100%.
aspirations.
100%. There's always hope.
I'm gonna say that this bad dive off meta pick is pretty possible. 6 scrubs, split push during team fight, first tower pre-15. I think this is the winning line for me, this middle one.
Yeah.
All right. And did you guys want to go ahead and name MVP for that game, or maybe a turning point? What do you guys think?
Okay. Well, I think Silent had the most potential that game. I think he just got behind on mana, couldn't actually convert any of his lead or tempo into anything. And yeah.
Who's the MVP from their side? The winning side.
From...
Yes.
That's a good question. Probably Silas.
Silas
Right.
did have the most impact on the game.
He just got really fed. And I mean, like, no one on their team did exceptionally bad, so it's hard to call. I think in IBS, it's more of who can make less mistakes rather than who can make the better plays.
Now, would you say that scales all the way up to what elo?
Diamond 2.
Diamond 2. All right, fantastic. How much time do we have before we need to run some ads?
We got about a minute.
1 minute.
1 minute, perfect. I just want to say to all the viewers out here, thank you very much. Snack as an organization earned 12 cents from our last broadcast, the Snack on Snack fight that was between Mighty Pandas and Space Sloths, I believe. That earned us 12 cents. So today we might be looking at a total of a quarter. So thank you very much. We're appreciative. And then we're going to throw this to commercial, and we're going to come back, if we have time, with the much anticipated LOL cinematic tier list. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I hope. What?
People subscribed can still hear us.
Has anyone subscribed?
Yes. We need to thank Akari.
We have subscribers?
We have a subscriber.
Ooh.
Hikari.
Hikari.
We got to shout that out. Hikari.
I said it in chat, but we had just
Thanks for the
started.
sub.
Fantastic. So people can hear us now, or they cannot?
They can't unless they subscribed, which is Akari.
All
Or
right.
if they watch the
So we
VOD,
can
they
only
can hear us.
Yes, so if they
Hikari. This one's just for Hikari then. I'm going to tier list things that Hikari likes and hates.
I'll sing a song.
Oh, okay. I mean, a musical interlude is beautiful as well. Okay, so they can't hear us. How did that go? Do you guys like this style? How did you guys feel about game one? Anything would be
felt-
better, less? What do you
It's
guys
a
think?
rough game one.
No, for casting. I don't
yeah,
care about
we're
the
talking about this.
Oh, okay.
What are we talking about here? Yeah. What about for the casting? Sounded good. Sounded great.
Moving on, I think. No, I feel confident going into game two.
No,
I
I'm talking
think.
about the cast. What can we change for the casting?
Well, they can still hear us, man.
No,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Hikari.
If people have ad block, they can
Just
also.
Hikari can see
No.
us, right?
No,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people
Also,
with ad
Also,
Ad block's
it
the
isn't
thing.
3 minutes of ads. It's anyone who joins during those 3 minutes get exposed to 15 to 30 seconds of ads.
Well, in that case, should I go down my
That's
tier
how
list,
it
my
works.
personal one? No, yeah. Okay, so do we just mute
Of
during
course,
this
yeah,
time?
you should go through your
we just
personal
all
tier
mute
list.
during the 3 minutes.
Okay, well, if anyone's
That's why I
listening,
said during break, just put some music on.
Yeah.
you have
Oh.
Nebulous DJ the music for break.
do we go to a different channel
Bow,
normally? Like, what happens
bow,
normally during this
bow.
time?
Oh, we start a cappella, man.
Yeah, we'll
Hey,
just
yo,
start
let's
singing.
do it.
We
What
got the
song?
Pitch Perfect soundtrack coming out, folks.
I want to do the Ken song.
What? No, start it.
I want to do Knuff. No, that's what I want to do.
Continue?
But
Continue.
we're
I'm the
listening.
main vocalist.
On go.
You are Juice.
You.
I'm gonna hum in the background.
I'm just
Oh,
Ken.
Da, 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 da,
Ooh, belt it.
da, da. I don't know
Belt
the words.
it.
I just know the tune.
Well, how do
Live
you
in 30.
bro?
Da, 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 da. Oh wow, fully
Fake
live in
Barbie
30.
fan.
Let's go.
I mean,
So
did anyone actually watch the Grammys?
I did watch the entire Oscars while I was watching the snack game because it's on both screens.
Yeah.
Do we want to come in hot with some movie reviews, or do we go straight into tier list?
Wait,
Juice, right?
Best movie everyone saw in the last like 365 days.
That's a lot of days. Wait, how much time do we have before they draft?
We're
Best
back.
movie, Oppenheimer.
All right, we're back.
100%.
Do we have time for a tier list, or should we talk movies? I think we have time for a tier list. All right. Oh, I don't know who said that. Neb, are you ready with your tier list?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we've got the league cinematic tier list happening right now. These are just basically character cinematics. So starting off with Mount Targon, this is the backstory with Deanna and Leona. As a cinematic, low C tier. I have to admit, low C tier. Not enough action for me, to be honest. Then we move on to actually two of my favorites, Shadow Isles. This is the Senna trailer with Lucian. If you haven't watched it, you gotta go watch it. It's one of my favorite cinematics here. and then we pop into Yone's. Yone's was obviously it's Yone. His cinematic was real good. And I believe this one is a D tier because it was absolutely horrible. And I'm gonna put Ruination. I'm gonna hit Ruination with an A. Ruination is solid. And then we got Bilgewater. This is the one where Graves was, I believe, not introduced, but he was in this with like some of the Yordles and everything like that. S tier. Great storyline. The Noxus one. Let's I think it's a high A. It's a high A. And the Fiddlesticks announcement trailer cinematic, S tier. And the other Shadow Isles one, going to a low A. Just actually high B. High B, let's say. And then we will have Ionia, which was mid. Actually mid. And we got Demacia is going to go into A. Emperors of the Ascent is going to go into A. Same situation as Targon for the Runeterra 1. And Freljord goes into S tier. And then the Yordles Runeterra 1, B tier. And then
I will say we are in draft.
there. That is the ending
This is
tier
much
list
more
here.
important than draft.
Yeah, draft not important.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
no, this is
Before we get to draft, let's look at this tier. This real fast that Neb took so much time doing. What is an S tier, real quick?
S tier, Shadow Isles, Legends of Runeterra, Bilgewater, Fiddlesticks, and Legends of Runeterra Freljord, and then the Ionian Myth.
where's the new
Fantastic.
Dawn? You didn't do a new Dawn. It's the first one. Where would that place?
That's S tier, just due to nostalgia factor.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
It's also the only one where people canonically die.
And what is this worst one? The D.
I think that's
This
Sentinel's
one,
Blight.
Sentinel's Blight announcement trailer.
Yeah, no,
Horrible.
That's
yeah, no,
tough.
that's the right place. What about the Amumu one? I guess it's also a music video.
It's a song.
Yeah, but it's like also a like lore music video thing.
This one just
All
I have
right.
another list for the song.
It looks like we're back to draft. So let's go ahead and move to draft. Look at that production spreadsheet. That is just beautiful. All right. Back to the draft. Furry, let's take it away.
Yippee! Wait, I don't have the draft link.
Like I said, Furry, take it away.
Bro, give me the draft link.
I'm working on it.
Bruh.
Uri thinks that the Kog'Maw Emilio is really good into the Smolder. Right?
Okay.
Are we looking at Maokai's jungle?
Okay, if I'm being real, Kog'Maw is one of my favorite champions in the game. He's really good this patch, yet everyone seems to ignore him. So I'm happy that someone's playing him. Like, he still has one of the highest DPS numbers in the game. He has like a 53% win rate right now in both low and high elos. The only issue is he needs a lot of resources to get functioning. He also needs 3 items, but like in an IBS game, games are going for, well, last game didn't go to 40 minutes, but most games are going to 40-ish minutes. So you should definitely be able to get 3 items in 40 minutes, right? So I think it's pretty strong. Now, what Kog'Maw struggles into is champions like Blitzcrank, right? If Cog ever gets into melee with anyone, he just dies, which kind of sucks because he has the range of a melee champ without his W. So especially because like he can't build RFC because he's locked into Randuin or Hurricane, whatever that one is.
Runon's
So
Hurricane?
yeah, Runon's not Randuin's. So yeah, but like he seems to have fine peel. My one concern is that both Set and Rammus are going to go in, and then little Mr. Kog'Maw is going to be stuck all by himself, and then he's going to get one shot. Well, especially when there's a Malphite. So hopefully, blind picking Cinder's also very safe here. The one thing about RE is that they have a lot of burst potential, but their only main source of sustain is Smolder, which is same side on SNC on the Kog'Maw. Both of them are looking to scale into that midish game. I argue that, well, okay, Smolder's mid game is definitely going to be better than Kog'Maw's mid game. Well, or is that true? I need to see more Kog'Maw into Smolder. It isn't a very common matchup. Also because like Kog'Maw hasn't been picked in pro play very much, so there isn't as much to go off of in that sense.
All right, how much time do we have before the game starts?
We haven't started it yet.
Fantastic. Once we're done this draft analysis, do we want to look at an individual champ? Pick one of these champs, give us their abilities, tell us why we draft this champion, and what is the proper build for this champion.
I wanted to start with Rammus.
Great.
Because Rammus is a champion that I think should be picked more, and he isn't picked more. Rammus and Skarner are the kings of low elo, statistically, also Momo, because they're really tanky, they CC, they're really easy to play, and they can have high impact on lanes. Rammus, okay. His first ability, we'll start with his passive, Spiked Shell. His basic attacks do bonus magic damage, scaling with his armor, specifically his armor. So, that's why people rush Thornmail on him into other armor items, gives him that bonus magic damage, even though you don't really pick Rammus for damage, still helps. His Q, his Powerball, that's one where he spins in a ball and sort of moves really fast. He gains movement speed, and it's an accelerating movement speed. He stops it after colliding into an enemy, dealing magic damage counts as a knock back, not a knock up, and slows nearby enemies. W, it's another stance like Q. It's independent base from his core, just defensive ball curl. It's the one where he sort of moves around real slow and he's all spiky. It gives him increased armor and magic resist based off of his armor and MR scaling. And when it's active, it increases its damage to people around him. It's an AoE. His E is the taunt, which taunting is like they're CC'd, they move towards you and attack you. So if you're in your W and with your passive, it does additional damage to them, especially if you have Thornmail. And his E soaring, his R soaring slam. It's the big jump. Can jump over minions, can jump over walls, and once it hits, it does magic damage. If he was in Powerball, it counts as a knock-up as well. And there's the little riffles in the ground, or aftershocks. It's a stacking slow, so the more of them you get hit by, the slower you get. It also does magic damage on each of that. And then the range of the ability, it's like Warwick's are, where the faster you're moving, the further you can ult. So, although Ramses don't stack items like Deadman's anymore, the build used to be you just build a bunch of movement items, move very fast, and you can like jump over the map.
Could you also tell us, Furry, how to differentiate between a good Rammus player and a bad one?
A good Rammus player versus a bad one. I mean, the only time a Rammus player is bad is if they don't hit people with Q. Like, period. Also, Rammus isn't a good pick here. Now, like, I'm kind of gassing up Rammus. He's a good champ. He's good when people auto him. There's no one on RRE who is going to auto him, because Smolder isn't an auto-based champion. Most of his damage comes from his Q. Yes, he does do autos. Yes, they do damage. Yes, it's weaved in. But it's not a lot. So, Rammus is going to have... Rammus is sort of forced to gank Syndra, which he can't do. Or gank Malphite, which he can't do. So, yes, Rammus is a great champion. This is probably one of the worst games for Rammus. And it's going to be really hard for him to play it.
Rammus' best skin, however, and I think the game has begun. So let's take a little look. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the loading screen. Fantastic. Do you want to take a little look at these skins? This Shanghai Kog'Maw is beautiful. That is also the correct Blitzcrank skin.
Whoa. Hold up.
All right. Ned, are you available?
Okay, Malphite's doing what I was saying. Starting Corrupting Pot. I really like Corrupting Pot starts, because, like, yes, there's the argument for D-Ring. Definitely don't go D-Shield. But Corrupting Pot stays useful until that, like, 9-minute mark. 9 to 12-minute mark. So that's very good to see. Also, for those curious, Smolder's Q scales both off of AAP and AD, but only does AD. That's why he can get away with starting D-Ring, because it converts for him. Because it's base scaling, still AD damage. I sometimes see Kog'Maw start Cole. According to LS, if you're starting Cole, you should stop playing the game. Cole is a great first back item. You should never start Cole. You should push 3 waves, back, buy Cole, come back and get it. You want the raw stats from either a long sword or anything. Also, you can still build Cole on AP champions. Like the 780 or whatever you get from it. Just going to make it easier for you to farm. So it's not like you're losing too much by doing all of that. But you definitely still don't want to start it, because you're just losing all prio. It looks like we're already seeing some trading up in the top lane. Silence just looking to bully this Malphite. Which is typical. Wait, he might kill Malphite. He doesn't decide to flash there, opting to wait for his E, because he started Q. It's pretty typical for sets to start their Q. It's significantly more damage. The only times where you would start the E is if you're like trying to cheese or something like that. But yeah, now you see, now that he has E, he gets the flash out, decides not to trade his flash for it and to just let him go away. So already a pretty good lead in the top lane for us. Further on, I think Blitzcrank might be able to get a pick here. Set taking some tower shots in the top lane. He did miss a good portion of that wave. Yeah, he shoved in the wave. His wave is still pushing. Yet his minions are even to Malphite, which means he's going to go up. Malphite's going to go up a few CS inherently. Yeah, so Set's really far pushed here. This can be really dangerous for him because he has no vision. Now, Maokai started top side. He isn't going to gank him, but he's still playing a little greedy, but he's getting away with it. Now, Rammus, it looks like Rammus is going to be moving towards the mid lane here. We've seen some scrapping at the top, but I don't think Malphite wins this. I think Set, his W should be up in like a second, but it wasn't up. Malphite living in for just by like a few HP. It feels really bad for Set to lose to Malphite early, especially because this should be a very Set favored matchup typically. Especially because like what can happen is Malphite ults in, Set can just grab him and ult him because Malphite's never going to one-tap Set. So, yeah, we're also seeing Maokai moving down to the bot here to gank. Blitzcrank flashing in, knocking up. It flash from Kog'Maw. W down onto Kog'Maw as well. Seems Kog's going to die here. I think what Cog could have done here is he could have stayed in and autoing on the Blitz and then killed him with his passive. I think if he got 2 more autos onto Blitzcrank there, he could have killed with his passive, but I think that's also a sign of how experienced a Kog'Maw player is by how they play around their passive. It seemed like Cog's passive was an afterthought there, which sort of keys me in that maybe he isn't a Kog'Maw main. Okay, Rammus up on the top side. We're just going to see if they can get it to convert to a kill. They should. Malphite, no flash. Very good on Rammus to give Set the kill as well. Oh, dude, we like fast forward for a second. Yeah, Set should finish shoving this. It would have been nice to see Rammus help him finish the shove, but I don't think it ended up mattering. We're also seeing double Bomby Cinder on this side, or on blue side. Now, Malphite shouldn't finish Sunfire. He should just sit on the sun, or sorry, sit on the Bombies. I think this game, Frozen Heart's great. Frozen Heart is Kog'Maw's worst nightmare. Because, right, he's a Ginsu-based champion. Auto. You know, Frozen Heart completely shuts that down. It's also very good into Set, who it looks like he's probably just gonna go. He goes Stride, right? It's either Stride or Titanic first. Oh, hook down onto Emilio, also under turret. That's really rough for him. I don't think he converts into. Oh wait, no, that was on Kog'Maw. So yeah, also Malphite's actually pushing into Set here, which it's kind of feels bad, especially because Set has both flash and ult. So it seems like he would be able to kill at any point here, and we're going to see a scrap down, but he doesn't do any damage. Hook onto RRE here, probably the worst person to grab, right? She just ults away. We do manage to secure the Drake though. And RRE going back in a little aggressive, almost one taps, and Kog'Maw's able to clean. Now Kog'Maw shouldn't be testing the waters with this Smolder. I think taking what you can get when you can get it, and if we can go back to gold or items.
Now, what I want to ask you here, Furry, was we know that Kog'Maw is known as an extreme scaler, and so is this little dragon in the bot lane. Which one's going to scale more in the late game?
It depends on who you ask. I think 6-item Kog'Maw still does more sustained damage than Smolder does, DPS wise. Now, the only caveat in this is Smolder is an infinitely scaling champion. But if we're going into reason, Kog'Maw will still be doing more sustained DPS if he is allowed to free auto. Now, will he be allowed to do that? Probably not. The other issue is that Smolder is kind of giga busted right now, and he's been needing a nerf, but they haven't been nerfing him. So him just being a good champ might matter more. But also, Kog'Maw's in a great spot right now. In fact, Kog'Maw's win rate is higher than Smolder's win rate right now. Also, mainly because no one plays Kog'Maw.
Now, what are we looking at here at bot lane? This is a 3-on-1. We don't like the odds here, do we?
I mean, it's not great. Set just needs to push W, but yeah, it gets the flash out. And what really feels bad about that is RRE starts to walk up during that. Now, reactive plays to roams are never good plays, right? You see his fight start to go in the top lane. What you should just say is, okay, he's dead. How can we punish elsewhere? So like shoving in mid lane and taking a plate. Yes, your top laner dies, but you get a wave and a plate for it. So you're not losing out on much. Instead, we walk halfway up the river. He dies, then we walk back down the river, and we get no punish off of it.
That's a pro tip right there. Thank you very much. That is a pro tip right there.
When we make a mistake, we just have to accept the fact that we make a mistake rather than sort of coping. And by walking up the river and trying to help him in the fight, that's coping.
And that was Life Moments by Furry. When you make a mistake, just cope with it. Thank you very much. Now, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen with this Blitzcrank down here? So what we saw before was Blitz very intimidating looking, just sort of like a quick flash on top of people. Now, I would never do that. However, I do think that this Blitz is going to play very aggressive.
Yeah, I think Blitzcrank is one of the few champions where you're never behind when you have a Blitzcrank.
That is a beautiful flash for about 2 inches from this Rammus. I love to see it. In fact, oh, a little emote. That's our first emote of the game. That's something that we know is not allowed in some leagues, but with LBL, it's perfectly fine. The emote from, I believe, the Rammus, that is a snack emote. That doesn't mean anything. That's just kind. That's just a hello, how are you doing? And now we're going to be looking at, this is an RE roam down. That looks like a little bit of miscommunication there because they were not ready for any sort of gank. Nothing was happening. It just looks like... Go ahead.
She was doing that roam when the wave was being pushed into her. So it's like, usually want your wave crashing while they're walking back from lane. You're walking down bot. They shove the wave in, then you TP back mid. Now, you didn't have TP to do that. You didn't have your wave pushed in, and you didn't have the bot wave in a state for you to gank. So that was sort of like, you missed every box.
Sometimes when, you know, I have played mid once or twice in my life, sometimes you just want to go down to a lane and take a look and feel like you're doing something. Otherwise, you sit in lane and you don't do anything. And
yeah,
you feel
and especially because, like, RE is a roaming champ.
That's correct. Roaming champion.
She wants to shove the wave and roam.
Now, here's the Rammus with a quick invade on this Meow 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 Kai. I believe what's going to happen here is a lot of buttons being pressed. Furry, who's going to win this fight?
Okay. I don't think anyone's winning this fight.
Okay.
I think everyone just walks away.
The viewers are going to win this fight. Okay. This RE might get burned down.
Yeah, actually, wait, no, this is good for us. This is good for us.
Okay.
Oh!
Great hook. Great hook. Just escaped.
We're overstaying our welcome.
It seems like Blue Side is trying to just invade every opportunity they can, really take control.
I mean, they should just take Drake here, right?
They should take this Drake right here.
Feels pretty free. They're going to run for grubbies. I think... Yeah, it's their first Drake, we get grubs. It isn't ideal, but I think them not getting 6 grubs is still a really good thing for us.
Well, let's keep in mind here, we do want 6 scrubs because we need the bingo. We need a 40-minute game, we need 6 scrubs, we need a bad tower dive. It can all still happen.
They got 6 scrubs last game, didn't they?
Oh, did they? Alright, I must have missed that when I closed my eyes. No problem. The grubbies, Furry, we named them in our first cast about a month ago. What's their names now?
Didn't we do Kevy, and Kevin?
That is false. Their names are Jerry, Gary...
Oh yeah, Jerry, Gary, Larry.
Alright, and just to clarify for future viewers of Snackcast, I believe Jerry is the right... No, Gary's the right one, Jerry's the left one, and in the middle we have Larry. So
the Larry was the friend you made along the way.
Larry was. Now what is happening here?
Where I come from, we call this a bad play.
Okay. Well, that's just drawing a lot of attention so that bot side can do something. When you go 1-on-4 with the set, you're just looking and praying for bot lane to do something.
But like, this Kog'Maw is really far down in CS, and I'm not entirely sure why. I don't think he should be. but he is. So, something to keep in mind. He's still, despite having a kill, I'd be willing to bet he's still down on gold on this Smolder.
Yes, it would be lovely to see the gold, but as you said, he looks like he might be a little bit down on gold. And there it is. Look at that production value.
Yeah, down 800 gold despite having a kill. That's CS for you. Especially when you're playing a really hard scaling champion like Kog'Maw, you just need to sort of put all of your focus into farming to try to get any sort of gold you can get, so you can get that 3-item power spike faster.
Now, I know from experience with this Ember team is that they don't often tilt. They have great mental. They're still learning. They're a team that's putting their macro together. They tend to do very well in solo lanes. However, at the same time, in this situation, things look a little bleak. Even though they're not down much gold, what can they do to turn it back around?
Focus all of their resources into getting Kog'Maw fed. Every last one. Because Kog'Maw is your win con, period. If you can get Kog'Maw to hit his power spikes before Smolder can hit his power spikes, that's really the name of the game. When you're picking heavy scaling champions, it's tempted to just sort of play for the late game. But you want the late game to happen faster. You want your late game to start before the enemy team's late game starts. And because of that, right, we're still having Kog'Maw lane. I think it's time to put him in the mid lane. Rotate him mid so that you can get more resources onto him, so you have better opportunities for him to be in fights, because you need him in the fights. You need him to try to get any kill that you can give him.
Now, I've noticed something, Furry, is that they dropped the Rift topside, and is that the best place to put that Rift?
No.
That's correct. That is the correct answer. It is not. But that's okay. Now, why is it not better to go put it in the top?
Why? Because, first of all, you want RRE to have an open map. You want RRE to be able to move around and assist other lanes. Now, you can't really do that if you are stuck laning. And I think they're going to be attempting to lane to like 19 minutes or something.
We need 20 for the bingo.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, Zet has no business being mid here. I'm a little lost at what's happening right now. I guess they were really, really trying to take that turret, but, like, they could have just waited one more wave and been fine. That feels a little weird. And also, like, if we take their mid turret earlier, then they're not allowed to do that. And suddenly Set doesn't need to be solo pushing mid lane while your bot lane is stuck.
We got a big 4-man gank coming bot lane. I believe they're just going to send the entire team. That's a 5-on-5. This is looking like a bad dive, guys.
I don't even think the dive's going to get started.
Alright, that's okay. They're going to fight for this objective. The thing is, as we always tell people, do it as a team. You know what I'm saying? If you got to send 5 bot, you got to send 5 bot. That's not a problem before the objective. So we're just happy they're about to engage some sort of team fight here. Although this is just a 2-on-2 skirmish in the river, a lot of abilities being thrown around, and also a 1v1. There's just too much action here happening for it.
Yeah, there's so much fighting. I mean, it's already great that Malphite's out at the fight and the kill goes to Kog'Maw. This fight feels really good.
I love this kiting action here.
You
This
just
is
gotta
great
keep
fighting
going.
by
Keep
Fire.
going. Keep going.
Just keep fighting. When in doubt, auto, guys.
They need to get Maokai
Nice.
off of Kog'Maw. Now Kog'Maw just needs to die. His passive should be able to kill Maokai. No, it doesn't. It was close.
That's a 2 for 2.
2 for 2, and importantly, Kog'Maw's getting kills. Also, Smolder's getting kills. Smolder getting kills is a little scarier.
Alright, this Smolder's 2-0-2. Shout out to Dio, hello. The first gold player on this team. We're not exactly sure if this team's going to IBS League, if they're going to move up or down, but it looks like they're ready for the big time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And PK did bring up a good point. Like, Set could just buy Hull Breaker and Perma Push. That's sort of what Sets want to do anyways. Like, these team fights aren't panning out necessarily in the way that we want them to. So a good way to play slower is to be playing on the 1-4 sort of strategy, or like core idea. I'd be curious to see if they do sort of follow that up in any way. Kog'Maw does have his Bork though. It's a pretty significant power spike, but like Varus the other day, you really need to wait to 2 items. Right, your first item power spike isn't really significant as Kog'Maw. You also need the Ginsus before that happens.
Look at that beautiful bounty on Kog'Maw, 150 gold. That's nice.
Oh, speaking of the bounty, it's gone.
Oh wow! How does that happen? How does the bounty
Caster
disappear
curse.
so quickly?
Also,
Oh, wow.
Set does have Hullbreaker.
All right,
Set
just
just
like
needs push.
I feel like you have a link directly into Saturn's brain sometimes, because he often does something you tell him right away.
Yeah, sometimes I think he's listening to me.
He did deny that yesterday when I accused
Even
him
though
of it on
there's a
stream.
multi-minute
That's
delay.
true. That's true.
Set should be no. That's 4 people. Push. Well, where's the team? It seems like our entire team's on backs there. So, okay. You shouldn't flash. You shouldn't flash. Now,
All right.
I don't know
Don't flash.
what are. Yeah, don't take flash.
Don't flash. When in doubt, don't flash.
Also, fun statistic. Most items in League have above a 50% win rate. That
Okay.
sounds weird, but it makes sense once you realize people build multiple items and items get built on both teams.
It all makes
One
sense.
of the only items that does not have a 50% win rate is Luden's Companion. It has a below 50% win rate and has like a pretty negative. It has like a 2% drop on a champion's win rate when they build that item.
Are you implying that we should buy this item now, all 5 of us?
I'm implying that I think it's not as good as people think it is. Like, Malignance is better on most champions.
Great
in
dodge
most
by RRE.
scenarios.
This blitz has come so close in so many hooks, and the movement from some of these players. Oh, this blitz hook is coming again. Be careful.
Syndra.
That's right. That's right. It's
Now,
hard to miss that R.
so that is a good example on why Luden's Companion is good. And it's especially good if you plan on going Storm Surge on these more classic mages, or you're just trying to burst them. Now, if you're not playing Bursty, I feel like Malignance is going to end up giving you a little more. Now, we're very far pushed right now. We need to get some resets. Kog'Maw's only about a third of the way to Ginsu's, whereas Smolder already has 2 items. This isn't looking too good. Oh wait, and like I said, Syndra built Storm Surge 2nd item. That's how that build's going to pan out. And Ari's probably going to build Storm Surge 2nd item as
This
well.
is just single-minded dedication by the set. He's going to take that tower, whether he
I
dies
think
or
that's
not.
a good decision.
That was a good decision.
Because how... Oh wait, he has
Listen,
no
if you're
MR.
gonna go out, you go out punching. Isn't that right?
I think you need Merc Treads by now.
Okay. Should we mark the wrong boots then on the bingo? No.
No, he just built them.
Oh, he just built them.
So,
Okay then. Well, unfortunate.
I sort of disagree with my chest on rushing Rookern on Rammus. Like, why? I mean, okay, I understand why. The why is because of Malphite and Syndra. How it ends up working out is you don't have Rammus's best item on his champ, and you don't build Thornmail just for the Grievous. You don't build it for the armor. You build it because the champion cannot do damage without it. Period. Your passive relies pretty much solely on the Thornmail.
You have to rush that Thornmail. That's right.
Well, yeah, because that big boost of armor, yes, it's armor, but it also gives you AP scaling because of his passive, like we mentioned earlier. So, and it's weird because you're sitting on that bombies, you're sitting on that bramble, and then you build a third item.
Now,
It's
third dragon's
like-
coming up. This is soul point. This is a really dangerous situation here. If
This
the
is a
RRE here
dead
dies,
RRE.
that is unfortunate. They have to realize it's the dragon. Should they fight for this? Can
Okay,
Red
so
come
they
back
do have
and
first
how?
step on this Drake, but Syndra does have ult. Now, this feels like a fake fight. I don't think anything's here, and what we feared would happen, it happened. Maokai W's Kog'Maw, then Mao fights, ults onto him. Like, Kog'Maw's living a surprisingly long amount of time, but he doesn't do damage because he doesn't have his Ginsus yet. If he has Ginsus, he can easily just burn
The game
through
has
them.
really taken a little bit of a turn for the worse for Snackers over here. But, you know, here's the thing. We have hope forever. I know you don't want to hear Snackers. What should we be called? Just SNC? But what can Red do? What can Red do to turn this around? What could possibly happen for us to turn this around? It's not without hope.
To stop fighting until Kog'Maw has 3 items, which is a tall ask. At least wait till he gets Ginsus, because he is not a champion before he has his port Ginsus.
Is this the type of game where you wish the coach would have a timeout to pause to talk to his players?
Oh jeez, if League games had timeouts, that would be disastrous.
I'm going to advocate for a pause because sometimes all we need is just like a break in the action to tell them what to do, right? Just tell them, wait, do nothing until Kog'Maw gets 3 items.
I guess, but like you should know that going in. But like Kog'Maw does have his Ginsus now. He's finally a champion, but it might be a little too late. Yeah, and also Melio hasn't really done anything all game. Like, I almost never see Melios. I think he's a very use case. Whoa,
Flashing into
whoa.
you know,
That's-
there's
I'm
some ways to
sorry.
go. Sometimes you gotta go, right?
I support SNC wholeheartedly. I do not support whatever the fuck that was.
Do you support us wholeheartedly, Furry?
I support some of us wholeheartedly.
All right, and it becomes clear. While we're here, let's talk about any Genshin Impact players. If you are there and you play this wonderful game, please text us, DM us. We'd love to know if you play Genshin Impact or Honky Star Rail, whatever this game is.
Honky. Yeah, we have some
It's a special process
recommendations
for you.
for
That's
you.
correct.
Very
We are an
Get some
organization that
prizes.
treasures our players who plays.
some maybe ways of looking at life differently.
Listen, if you
Something to
self-identify
think
as a
about.
we want you.
Some of us want you.
All right. Now what's happening here? I think they're just kind of running in one by one. You know,
They're just looking for anything that they can get.
all right. Now, this game is turning a little bit. I'm not going to go into can we win this or not. What can we learn from these games to take into the real match, which is going to be on Friday? This is just a scrim. This is a friendly scrim between people who used to be on Snack and people currently on Snack. This counts for not much except for maybe bragging rights for the next 5 to 10 years. However, at the same time, they do have a real game on Friday. What can Ember do, take out of this, when they go through this VOD review? What are they going to say? What are they going to
Stop forcing random fights. Like what's happening here right now? Oh,
I believe Magic. I believe that set just destroyed.
that was a
Oh.
one shot. That's what that was.
Oh,
But
Jazz coming in
but
with
like-
wards and vision control. Is that Nebulous? I believe so. Nebulous, the support main, is looking at the vision score and saying they have no vision. It's not just the score. As
Yeah,
you noted in Game 1, it's not about the number. It's about, is this effective vision?
So I think we're making very reactive plays. And our reactive play is to always team fight. What I think was the best things to learn is how to 1-3-1 in the mid game, how to exert control on a split push, how to punish enemy laners for split pushing, and how to still win objectives even when behind. Or like accepting the fact that, hey, we have a Rammus, he's just going to try to 50-50. It's better that Rammus kills himself and we get something bot lane rather than our whole team getting wiped on Baron, which
Right.
I have a feeling it's about to happen.
This looks like a game-deciding moment here.
Or we just run Drake here, or we ignore what's happening.
Let's
'cause,
do
like,
something
more-
else. We're not going to win these team fights. We should do something else. Would you say?
Yeah, wait until Kog'Maw has 3 items. This is what I said at the start of the game. It's what I'm going to be saying at the end of the game. That's why it's confident that if the game goes to 40 minutes, you're pretty much guaranteed to get 3 items.
All
Just
right.
by like existing.
11 minutes. Okay, I think we can drag this game out for another 11 minutes, don't you think?
Well, let me just say, if he doesn't finish his item in the next 11 minutes, there's a different problem.
All right. And now I think we're going to set up some vision for this bottom dragon, since we know they're going to take Baron. What's the right thing to do here? Rammus is going to go straight for this dragon. It looks like Blitzcrank is down there. I think Blitz is going to try to steal this dragon, guys. Can he pull that over this rail? Can he pull that over the wall with that skin, Furry?
I mean, it'd be pretty beast if he did.
That's one way to do it. All right. I didn't know what that Blitz was going to do down there, but the flash knockup, I
like
didn't
that, I
expect.
like it.
I like that. That is a good move. As the kids say, a Chad move.
You're learning, look at you. Yeah,
Wow.
because it's like, even if Blitzcrank dies there, what do they lose?
That's right. That's right. Oh no, this Malphite ult. Oh no. It's okay. That's just so much CC on this team. You know, last time we looked at them, I believe the Maokai, that champion that you love, that R when used effectively just knocks everybody out. Nice charm. Good charm.
Yeah, and the real wombo combo is Maokai W into Malphite E on whoever, because you can get all the way to the back of the back line.
I would contest that and say that the real Wombo combo is Snack and Friendship, wouldn't you say? Ouch. That hurt. Ow, I'm sorry about that. Okay, well, that's a great hook by this Blitzcrank.
Man, if only they had friendship.
If only they had the power of friendship. But here at Snack, we prioritize friendship. And soon we will also prioritize Dragon Vision. Alright, let's go. And now, I don't know if this is a best of 3, or if this is a 3 block. I'm going to assume it's a best of 3.
I would say we leave it at a BO3.
But here's the thing, this is practice, right? If you want to get into practice, you want to get better, what you need to do is to play as a team. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. As you know, Snack teams have lost a lot over time.
I mean, a Snack team won the other day. It just took them playing another Snack team.
Don't tell them who they fought. You know what I'm saying? We do have a victory on the split. So at least we have one win. But in our recent past, we have been champions, so we do know how to build a winning org. I'm not sure how we'll replicate this, since leagues won't let us play for them anymore. However,
Yeah, we were
in the
too
future,
good.
we were
And we
too
played
good
the mods too
as a
much.
collective. Yes, that is true. Now, I want to turn our attention to maybe some future things for Snack that we might be doing. As you know, we're going to be looking to cast probably once a week, maybe some games. Mostly, we only have 3 of our 6 teams right now in the league. Hopefully they'll be league games. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just talking too much. This Malphite is coming right back. Let's just enjoy this in silence, Furry.
I think this is best enjoyed in silence. I don't think there are the right words in the English language for this.
I do speak 3 languages. Would you like me to use something else?
Yeah, start spin some Chinese.
中国人是最好的人，韩国人也是还可以。可是哦，对不起，大家来吧。How's that?
I agree.
All right. I just said the master race was blank, but you'll never know. All right, here.
Wombats translate.
All right. It looks like it's gonna be a pretty decisive win. I'm not sure when this is gonna end, but I do want to take the opportunity to thank the SCRIM partners here. They are a new org. I believe this is their first IBS team. They have a couple other teams on the docket. I've seen their ads. I have briefly spoken to their owner. At one point, they did huge scrims, and I was thinking of sending our IBS players over there in case they needed people. Because as we know, IBS is sort of, dying out in the comp scene. And as a org that started on IBS, it's something that we want to support. So
People
with
just
this-
keep getting better. And
People
we
keep
just
getting
keep
better.
worse.
that's not true. We are also getting better. This is what it
We're
takes.
getting so much better.
It takes years of dedication to get past the IBS level. And
What rank are you, by the way, Juice?
Iron 4. Now, that doesn't speak about my personality nor,
What? You're
my
one of the
status in
2
life.
people in Iron 4, isn't that correct?
Well, I don't think if I'm directly in Iron 4. I think I'm there just because I didn't finish my placements.
Okay, so you're
Is
there
that
in
possible?
spirit.
Is that possible?
Yeah, that is possible.
Okay, I mean, I'm not sure. So when I start we have actually been dreaming of making Iron League. So
Oh God!
that's what we're doing here.
If we could
Alright.
find enough Iron players.
We're gonna find them, and I'll create them one by one. All right, here we are with Blissful Rage. This is gonna be the final fight, I'm gonna guess.
I'm surprised no one's ended yet. I mean, okay, so Kog'Maw has his 3 items. Is a item down on Smolder? Smolder does have his 3rd Q. So isn't very comparable. But I'd be curious to see what Cog's damage does look like if he doesn't get one shot.
Somehow Silent
And
Bear
he-
is chatting
and
us
he's-
in the chat, and he's also speaking to us on the chat while this team fight is happening. I'm not sure how that's possible, but
I would like to say Kog'Maw does in fact do damage.
all right. Beautiful.
Smolder just does a little more damage.
All right. Are they gonna pass up this Drake? Nobody wants this Drake just to complete the set? Get all 4? No? A collection? I guess you have Smolder. That's technically already 4 dragons. Is that correct?
Well, isn't like Elder Dragon his mom?
Is that true? Is that really what's happening?
I thought his mom was 8. I don't know.
All right.
I'm not a Smolder lore aficionado.
Why not? All right. Thank you so much to our SCRIM partners. Thank you so much for Ember for playing. Thank you so much for Kiwi, for Dio, and also
Loves
for
and
Prince
kisses.
Sticks. Out to the owner, Blind Hookers, thank you so much. Reaper's Revenge Esports. Normally we would move to an interview here. If any of the RRE players would like to come take a chat, have a chat with us, come on over. We'd love to talk to you. If any of our players would come on to talk, that'd also be lovely. But otherwise, have a good night. We'll be back sometime eventually.
Don't
Can't get
forget to
rid
hit
of
that
us.
subscribe button and hit that bell.
Thank you, Hikari, for subscribing.
Any primers?
All right. Well, Silent wants in. I was hoping that we could get somebody in here from the other team. Could we ask this other team if they want to jump in here?
No.
No? Is there a game? Instead, Kiwi, is there a game 3? Somebody tell the chat. Is there a game 3, Kiwi? There is a game 3. All right.
Oh,
we don't.
we're
This is
tripping.
fantastic. Are we gonna cast this game 3? Do we need to go here?
I think we do need to go.
We might need to go as well. It's a 3 block. What we could do, Kiwi, if you want to step in here, do a little chit and chat and catch us up to your life, what you've been doing for 2 years. We would love to hear from you. But I believe we're only scheduled to go till 7. 12 cents does not go very far for electricity bills, so we might have to turn this off at 7. Noble Wolf, I don't know what blind means. Okay. Love the use of the asterisks there. This is a PG-13 server. I want to remind everybody. This is not SNC After Dark. Please keep it nice and clean. All right. PK, should we end the cast here? All right. Our entire production team is missing.
We can't. Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
PK is gone. Nebulous is gone. Ichu never even showed up. Thanks a lot, guys. All right. So, some of the others might join. Could we take it to the other team? Can we go to the snack server, please? Is that possible to stream from there?
Yeah, we can go over there.
Kiwi, can you
Get
guys
Kiwi
take it
in
to the
here.
snack server? Yeah, Kiwi, get over here.
Let's get Kiwi in here.
Let's go. I want that Kiwi up in here. All right. Can you guys drag me over to wherever I need to be?
Do we need to go to the other server?
You don't have access? Kiwi, what are you talking about?
We probably need to go to the other server.
All right. All right. Somebody invite Kiwi to the server. Kiwi, did you leave our server? That hurts my feelings.
I mean, honestly, you probably kicked him.
No, I don't kick anybody from the server. Well, that's not true.
That's cap.
I have kicked people from the server, but let me just say it was the coach, not the players. I'm gonna be in Cakeville.
Cakeville.
I don't know that. Put the invite link.
Are we still streaming?
Yes.
Of course we're still streaming. We don't stop till 7, guys. All right. Okay, no one's here yet. Oh, Nums, let's go.
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Nums.
What's up, Nums? Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
This is a real reunion.
This is a lovely reunion. I love it. It's good to see you guys.
I know.
PK, love you. June, I don't think I've met you yet, but I have you on my friends list.
What
nice
are you
to see
talking
you.
about? That's E-June.
Oh, shoot,
king.
me?
The king.
Really?
E-June.
Bruh. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, first and foremost, I didn't know you changed your name, okay?
We all changed our names. We're berries now.
My name
changed,
hasn't
bro.
changed. Actually, my name was different before Num Nums. Do you guys remember what it was? Because I don't remember what it was.
Your name was... What was your name before?
It was like... Oh, man.
I mean, we just call you King over here. All right, and we have Kiwi, we have Dio, we have Ballistic. Hello, everybody.
Kiwi.
Aloha.
What's up, Kiwi?
Hello.
I joined too. How have
Hey,
you
Kiwi.
been?
Is there a third
Island.
game you guys are supposed to be in draft?
As far as we're aware, yeah,
Okay.
we're in lobby.
Tell us a
love
little
that.
bit
Yo.
about your time away, Ballistic. I'm just going to interview you real quick while you guys are going to go through here. I did not realize you guys were part of this other team. You guys told us that you guys were former snackers. People are hitting me up with the messages. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Now I do. How was this game for you guys? Ballistic, Kiwi, Dio, go ahead. Take the floor.
I'm gonna let one of those two talk first.
Yeah, I all I know is I don't play Maokai. Terrifying game.
What was y'all's game plan going into game 2? That's what I want to know what your game plan going like from champ select to your 5-point, like what was y'all's mindset? What was y'all like your game plan like going in? Because obviously you have a plan, then obviously something happens, you get punched in the face, you gotta switch it up. What was your initial game plan going in?
I didn't have one.
You didn't? Y'all didn't have one?
Our general idea was to pretty much babysit the smolder.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Honestly,
Did that work out?
Yeah, definitely.
Just playing for the smolder.
Yeah, especially late game. His
Right.
elder is pretty strong.
Right. Love it. What about game 1? What was the initial thing for game 1?
It was
honest-
kind of the same thing, wasn't it? Like team front to back team fight with
Yeah.
around the MF ult.
I play Gnar, I win.
I will say that the Blitz attempted steal a dragon pit.
That was great.
We didn't know if you were gonna do a hook or what. We were kind of confused, or not confused, but
Yes,
waiting.
what's in here? That was incredible stuff.
That was me. Yeah.
we were definitely waiting for, but it was nice to see the attempt. No, for sure.
I was hoping. it was
I did steal a Void Grub game 1. Proud of that.
What are we going to see next from you, Kiwi? When's the Speedway coming out?
Uh,
I was
I'm not
so
gonna lie.
disappointed that I didn't get to see Kiwi Speedwick.
That's
I don't think
E-June speaking,
Draven.
Kiwi,
I don't think
former
Draven
teammate.
will let him play it.
I haven't told anyone on this team about it. Ballistic is the only one that knows.
Oh.
I haven't reworked the build since the last item changes.
Why would that stop you, item changes, Kiwi?
I'd have to figure out what replacements to do because some of the items were removed or changed completely.
Okay. Do you guys have a coach drafting for you guys over there?
We have
Yeah.
a owner of the org drafting for us. Our coach is gone
manager.
right now.
Oh.
No,
Is it Blind Hookers?
Draven's co-owner with Will.
Yeah,
I
but
see.
he's also our
Will-
manager.
Will's
I see.
missing. I haven't seen Will in like 2 days. I don't know where he's
see.
at.
Are they aware
busy
of the bet we put on this game?
Somebody put a bet on this game.
That's right. First team to win pays the other team $100. They didn't get that memo?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to Will about that.
Unfortunate. Okay. Do you guys have anything else to say to Snack fans far and wide?
So in regards to Speedwick, it does not look like it will be happening anytime soon, according to the Jungle Coach.
Unfortunate.
Shane. For Shane.
Game 3.
Hasn't even given.
They don't believe. You just gotta show them, Kiwi. I believe in you.
Let me cook, Coach.
Let's play this last game 3 for the spirit of dreaming. R.I.P. We haven't moved a lot of people from the server, but
wait a
that
minute.
may be
The
one.
spirit of dreaming.
Yeah. I should let you guys go back to your game because I'm sure the other team's waiting. But thank you for coming. We hope to cast you guys further. If you guys want a team to cast for you guys, we're here. We cast other games, not Snack games. Yeah, we're unpaid. We're volunteer. No problems. Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to the former SNC Loose Eterna players.
That's all right. Shout out to Outlaw. We'll come back, please.
Peace.
Y'all have a good one.
Hi, guys. Yes.
Cheers. Hi.
Aren't you in the wrong chat, Silent? Aren't you guys about to play a game?
Yes. I wanted to be back, so I came.
I see. Fantastic. Oh, Drop
Who
Dead
is
Phantom
Moon?
coming in. Is this a reunion? Radiant. All right. We're going to clean up this chat. Looks like we're done here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone's done. PK, thank you for your work.
PK, I love you, man.
We're going to VOD review
Furry
this
not
cast
here
later.
today?
Furry is here, but I think he's just here to work and get out. So
sad.
Let's cut the stream and then let me take some Nums and Juneberry feedback on our cast.